The racing week starts on Tuesday at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. We look forward to welcoming you here to HQ. It's a big weekend coming up. We got Grade 1 racing at Hollywoodbets Grayville with the Daily News 2000 and the Willavington, plus the Lonsdale's through a couple of Grade 3 status. And then here on Sunday, looking forward to the Pocket Power Stakes, as well as a few other feature races and some nice races, which should be in action. What I have to ask you is, please, could you like and subscribe to our Cape Racing channel on YouTube? Tell us the content that you might like to see, and we'll approach some of those people. And don't forget to catch Perfectly Placed, Taking the Reins, and various other social squad and syndicate aspects here on our social media pages. Right, let's get into the nitty-gritty of this 9-race card at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on this Tuesday here in the Pocket Power Room, and I invite you to come and have a look. Enjoy a day at the races, because as far as midweek racing is concerned, it's not a bad card at all. A few tricky races that we've got to wade our way through. As far as the weather forecast is concerned, well, everyone told me about a Cape winter that starts in May. Well, it's not the case. The forecast on Tuesday is for a tailwind. For those that are having a bet, perhaps use that to your best of your knowledge of about 24 kilometers an hour, but it should be a clear and lovely day to bring your friends, your family, and also meet some new friends here at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. Race 1 gets underway at 12:20. Let's have a look at the form. Richard Free comes into the meeting on 302 winners. That's another thing that we're doing on social media, is the countdown to 335 is well and truly on. Less than, or just over 30 winners away from hitting that magical target, and he rides number 7 in the green zone in the opener on the card. Very interesting runner, because her worst run came over 1,200 meters. She's back over 1,000 meters this time around, where her best efforts have come. Can Richard Free get her across the line? I think that she has number 6, Summer Snow, to beat, who I'm going to tip on top. Aldo De Meyer takes her out for Candice Bass Robinson. 2 pleasing runs, stepped up nicely from run 1 to run 2, which does seem to be the Bass Robinson way. Otaniqua ran a good race subsequently at handicap level, running second here just over a week ago. So number 6, Summer Snow, would be my top selection. Watch the betting on some of the first timers. Number 3, Just a Glance, could be quite interesting on debut from the Brett Crawford stable. But 6 from 7 in the opener, not part of the exotics. Then moving on to the second race on the card, this will be the start of today's bipot, off at 5-1. The Cape Racing Sales Cape B Stakes for fillies and mares over 1,400 metres, first foray around the turn. It's an interesting race, because I think luck and running is going to have a lot to do with it. If you go back to the Schweppes Cape Oaks on Splash Out Cape Derby Day, that form is under the spotlight here with Summer Lily, with Call Me Gatrix, and also with Fatal Gem. Now, the race was not run to suit, definitely not run to suit Fatal Gem, who took the bull by the horns on that occasion, and it's set up quite nicely for number 3, Summer Lily, who ran second to Rainbow Lorikeet, who would be a big runner here on Sunday if she does take her place. So how is it all going to work out this time around? Also, Unconquerable Lady from draw 1, got to be an interesting angle to have a look at. I think it's going to be worth taking a stab on number 3, Summer Lily, or 6, Fatal Gem. Although Summer Lily, this race smacks of a setup run for something in the future. 1,400 meters is a distance that she's been quite good over, but coming back from a break, I think that she might be one run away from hitting her straps, but I think she's of a fair amount of ability. Number 3, Summer Lily. If the race is run to suit, she could end up being the right one in the race. 6, Fatal Gem's got a lot of heart, a lot of courage. She probably gets closer than what she ought to. She famously did heated at Hollywoodbets Durbanville towards the end of the spring season up at the country course. So 6, Fatal Gem, always good value for money to include. Ignore her penultimate start in the Schweppes Cape Oaks, and even last time from draw 1, things didn't go according to plan for Fatal Gem. I've spoken to Gavin Larena after that performance from number 6, Fatal Gem, and there was also fell back onto, I think the irons also came loose at a certain stage. So she's got to be better and worth another look in race number 2, the start of the bipot. Race number 3 is the start of the place accumulator, off at 1:30. The Cape Turf Club Open Maiden for fillies and mares. They go 1,200 metres. There's not a lot of form to work with here. There's a few in here with chances. I think number 10, Pink Moon, is the right place to start. Louis Otwa takes her right here for Brett Crawford. Now, what I think you need to bear in mind, it's just her 5th start. It's her 3rd run after a rest. Her first run after a rest was pretty much as you'd expect it to be after about 6 months off the track, but her second run was a lot better. She's now going 1,200 metres for the first time in her career, and she's Northern Hemisphere bred. So let's also remember that she's 6 months behind the other 3-year-old. So the racing and the time would have done her a world of good. Number 10, Pink Moon, should run a big race, should be her career best. Whether she gets across the line in the number 1 box under the famous archer at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth remains to be seen, but I believe that she is the one that they all need to beat. She'll run a big race, number 10, Pink Moon. If not her, then who? 2 Lead to Glory, better last 2 runs, got to be respected. 3 Opera Verse could be popping for her best run to date. 6 Spirit Guard, I think has been a trifle disappointing, but I think in a race like this, she could put her act together and run a better race. 9 United We Stand's got to go close for the Gulf Racing Club Syndicate. Kurt Felix and his merry men with Lunga Gila at the helm there, and even a horse like number 13, Rocking Peony under Richard Ferree, not one to take lightly. Ferree's got a few nice rides for Greg Ennie and some of his favourite friends like Veronique and Wordsworth later on in the day. So 10 Pink Moon, horse to beat, but if she gets beaten, anything can defeat her. Then we move on to race number 4, the start of the Pick 6, the Cape Turf Club Syndicate's Open Maiden for fillies and mares. They go 1,600 metres in race number 4, and I think the 2 Drakenstein horses could be the 2 to focus on. I'm going to lead with number 8, National Disgrace, because National Disgrace has number 1, St. Bridget Held. Louis Otwa, Brett Crawford yet again. Maybe they can double the dose. When it comes to National Disgrace, she's run some nice races to some nice horses, the likes of Princess Izzy, Rainbow Lorikeet, Plum Pudding, who ran a nice race in feature on Saturday at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. I think all that stacks up for number 8, National Disgrace, to run a big race and go very close to winning. I think this is pretty much what she's been looking for, 1,600 metres. And I think the last few trials on the summer course will probably also help her out. But then we've got number 7, Charlotte Bronte, who plots the same track as her famous half-brother Charles Dickens, a 2-time Grade 1 winner here at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth over this course and distance. This is the first time that Charlotte Bronte goes 1,600 metres at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. Now, she's run some nice races. She's gone close. She's clearly not as good as her half-brother Charles Dickens, who famously won the Hollywoodbets Cape Guineas as a 3-year-old, and then even more famously won the Lomarock King's Plate for Drakenstein at the start of the year. I think this is probably going to be Charlotte Bronte's best chance to get the win under the belt. Just imagine when she goes to the paddocks back home at Drakenstein. You see a win under the belt, what that's going to do to the pedigree. So she'll get the job done one of these days, if not here. Surely her winning turn's going to come soon. I think she'll run well. And then number 4, Lavender Bay. Obviously, fitness needs to be taken on trust. She's not been seen since December, where she ran a fair race behind Tres Chic. I think she could maybe be a run away from hitting her straps, but I think she's got a good quartet chance. Number 4, Lavender Bay, and 1, St. Bridget should run a good typical St. Bridget race. Whether she can get the job done, though, remains to be seen. So that's race number 4, the start of the Pick 6. Then we move on to race 5, the beginning of Jackpot 1, the Turf Talk Syndicate Class 5. They go 1,400 metres. Don't forget to get in touch with the various syndicates. Turf Talk, of course, got a couple of shares available. It looks like they might have bought a few nice horses throughout the year, and I think there could be a few more to come. Watch the space. As for race number 5, I think there are a few in here with chances. I'm very interested in the chances of 6 and 9. And to a lesser degree, number 7, Culp Forest. I want to start with Culp Forest because I'm more keen on 6 and 9, but it wouldn't blow me away if Culp Forest were to win. He's a hostage to fortune. He comes from the back of the field. I don't think there's any reason in changing the tactics if the gaps open up, and if he runs through runners, number 7, Culp Forest could be dangerous. But can he turn it around with number 6, Kabona Lesedi, who holds a very interesting entry for the Pocket Power Stakes here on Sunday? Don't know whether he'll be in the right place there. But with that said, he's in good form. He just held off Hang Out the Stars, who he meets again at his last start. But he's turned the corner as number 6, Kabona Lesedi. I think this is the best version of the son of Pomodoro that we've seen to date. Francis Carruthers is the owner. He was highlighted in the Racing Blast just last week on the back of a few nice winners of late. Craig Zaki, Eric Sands, informed jockey trainer combination. Let's see how number 6, Kabona Lesedi goes, because he's going to be a live chance. And then there's number 9, Spirits Unite. This horse has been on my radar for quite a while. I liked him last time, and he did some good late work after running into trouble when finishing 3rd behind Steadfast. Steadfast unlucky here on Saturday. Doesn't win the race, but he definitely ran into a bit of traffic. Richard Ferree takes the ride here for Pete Stain on number 9, Spirits Unite. His ratings come down gradually along the way, and the son of the United States' last run was out of the top draw. The way that he stayed on very, very strongly. He's probably going to be coming from the same vicinity as number 7, Culp Forest, so the same comments apply, that he might be a hostage to fortune, will need a little bit of luck in running. But I think that this horse is going to go very, very close to confirming his last run, and if not winning, going right down to the wire and being somewhere in the photo. So number 9, Spirits Unite, for me, one of the more interesting runners on the card. I think this could be an exciting race. It might be a Class 5, but I think those that come here and enjoy the final 200 metres here in the grandstand will be in for a treat. Hopefully that will be the case. Then moving on to race number 6, the race Cape powered by Hollywoodbets Middle Stakes for fillies and mares over 1,200 metres. I think Candice Bass Robinson has a fairly strong hand here with 3 runners in the race. Interestingly, Aldo De Meo's gone with number 1, Winter Rainfall. Now, she can run a howler. She can be disappointing sometimes, but when she puts it all together, she can be quite devastating. Tailwind that's likely to blow for a horse that runs on quite strongly, drawn towards the inside. It might just be set up for number 1, Winter Rainfall, who ran a better race last time behind Pineapple Mint Green, running 3rd, but she faces Pineapple Mint Green again. How is that all going to work out? Because Pineapple Mint Green gives it away on the way down to the start, and with her behavior in the parade ring. She can pull, she can fight, she can play on the way down to the start and in the parade ring, but when she keeps it all together, she runs big races. I don't think that she's all that bad, number 7, Pineapple Mint Green. There might be some aspirations for her to climb the ladder. I'm sure there are aspirations for her to climb the ladder with number 7, Pineapple Mint Green. She's not a horse that I can sit here 24 hours out from the race meeting and say she will win. But for those that have her in the exotics and for those that might want to have a little tickle on number 7, Pineapple Mint Green, the best indication I can give you is her behavior in the parade ring and her behavior on the way down to the start. If she keeps a lid on things, and if Sean Veal can control her, she is going to be a huge runner, this daughter of Gimme the Green Light. And then we got number 4, Enemy Territory, who tried herself at some pretty strong company during the summer festival and did not disgrace herself. She may have stepped up over a distance a little bit too far for her, because the mother was a high-quality sprinter with Chevauché, who was also trained by Brett Crawford. Coming to these calmer waters and back down the straight, she's worth a second glance. She could be one of the lurkers in the pack, number 4, Enemy Territory. So maybe work around numbers 1, 4 and 7, and to a lesser degree number 2, Southern Skies, trained by Mike and Adam Azzi with Richard Furry on board. Wherever Pineapple Mint Green and Winter Rainfall are, Southern Skies ought to be right there. Interesting race, should be a good one. Race number 7 is the perfectly placed Class 5 for fillies and mares. They go 1,200 metres. It's a race that you probably don't want to get too carried away with. I think the most reliable horse is number 3, Veronique, under Richard Furry, 4, Greg Enyon. But can she get her nose across the line in front? She's back to 1,200 metres, a distance that she's done well over. She's done well over 1,400 metres. I don't think the change in trip is going to have too much of a bearing. It's just a matter of whether she can get her next win under the belt. She's an ATM for Greg Enyon. Greg Enyon's yard's in good form. Another winner here with a syndicate horse with Dixieland Band for the Jazz Syndicate on Saturday. 3, Veronique's just going to run a Veronique race. If that gets her across the line, then so be it, but she should be in the first 4. 7, Black Path could represent a little bit of value. Xavier Costner's rode her last time to finish 2nd behind Little Miss Pink, but JP Funamava takes her out for Peter Wrench. It was a better run. That was around the bend. She's back down the straight. I like what I saw of number 7, Black Path. Whether, again, she can win, I don't know, but she should run a nice race, number 7, Black Path. It was a better run last time with a light weight and receiving weight from quite a few horses here. I think that she's a danger. And number 12, Country Times, also not one to take lightly, under Aldo for Candice Bass Robinson. She's run with a bit stronger. She's down a level here, number 12, Country Times. So it's not a very strong race, but a few there that you can make inroads with in your exotics. Race number 8 is the Taking the Reins Cape B Stakes. They go 1,000 metres. 4, Bluff on Bluff interests me. Off a lightweight, hasn't won in over 400 days, but Sean Veal takes her out for Pete Stain. And then Speed Racer, the 2 reoppose. Speed Racer holds a 2-length advantage over Bluff on Bluff, but Bluff on Bluff holds a better swing at the weights. Will Bluff on Bluff get across the line? He's always a horse that's interesting to follow because he goes well, he makes punters money, he makes his connections money as well along the way. And the Son of Oratorio, just a real salt of the earth trier soldier for the yard, not going to get to any great heights, but at this level he'll continue to make his connections and his supporters proud. So 4, Bluff on Bluff, an interesting starting point. 9, Speed Racer, of course, won the Work Riders versus Professional Jockeys race here on Splash Out Cape Derby Day. And you would have been forgiven for thinking that might be the end of the road, but he's kicked on. He's actually found a second wind and he's learned how to put his races together, and his confidence is up. He's the epitome of a horse that's just full of confidence at the moment and maybe even overachieving to an extent. Craig Zaki takes her out for the Kaya Stables. Of course, he's retained by Kaya Stables. Brett Crawford trains. Model of consistency. Number 9, Speed Racer, should be bang there. And a horse that's very interesting for me is number 2, Mojo Man. Ratings come down from 101 down to a 90 now. Ashton Aries takes her out for Vaughan Marshall. For me, Vaughan Marshall and about 3 trainers here in the Cape that is consistently performing at a high level and churning out winner after winner. Vaughan doesn't set a lot of runners, but I think number 2, Mojo Man, is going to be one of those that runs better than many may think. He's run with the likes of Teflon Man, Future Variety, Mu Capitano, Nordic Chief as well. Like I said, the rating coming down makes number 2, Mojo Man, very interesting in the penultimate race. Do not let him run loose. Maybe he might need another pound or 2 until he's ready to win, but he's going to go close. This is going to be his best run in a while for number 2, Mojo Man. And then the 9th and last, which runs at 5 past 5, Hollywoodbets Bright Future Cape C Stakes over 1,000 meters. Again, not a race that I want to get too carried away. And there's a horse here that I'm not tipping today, but I'm waiting for because we're not far away from getting back to Hollywoodbets Durbanville. That's number 4, William West. Maybe another trim or two in the ratings before we get to the country course. That's a horse we're going to make money with towards the end of winter and the start of spring, number 4, William West. But I'm going to sidestep him here. Horses that are interesting in the final race without getting too carried away. 2, Wiley Jack, consistent, going close wherever Wordsworth is. Wiley Jack should be right there. Wordsworth, because like so many other Greg Enion older horses, making money every time he comes to the races, running well, has Fury on board. You know what you're going to get for number 3, Wordsworth. Probably one easier than the margin suggested last time over Shifting Path. Form being franked. Big chance, number 3, Wordsworth. And then down the page with a little bit of an outside draw, number 11, Swift Action. Pete Buerter commenting on Perfectly Placed that this horse is going to go well. You can see why. The numbers suggest that a win's just around the corner. The combination of Stain and Buerter won the final race here with Baton Rouge on Saturday at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. So there's every chance that they could double the dose here. With the final race success, which they did quite regularly about a year ago. Number 11, Swift Action, is definitely a live runner. So that's how I see things go on this Tuesday at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. We invite you, bring your friends, bring your family, tell people that you don't know to come here to HQ. A lot of good things happening. Hopefully we'll see you on Tuesday. Looking forward to Sunday here when we have a few feature races and a few nice horses going around here at HQ. And looking forward to saying hello. We'll see you soon.